welcome back to Lighthouse Ministries, where we tell our testimonies on how God led us from darkness into light.
Yes. First off, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a amazing October, enjoying the soon-to-be fall weather. I know I am. We have been through a harsh, hot summer. Um, kind of looking forward to the winter a little bit. It's been very hot, very hot.
Too hot.
How's your day been today?
It started off rocky, but it's doing better now.
That's good. That's good.
How about you?
Same. A little agitated earlier, but we keep moving.
Yeah.
So a little bit about us before we get started is we was called to ministry shortly after our journey to Dallas. We have a TikTok page that we're actually going to be adding somewhere down below soon. And we have been married for about 5.5 years now. So we have 2 children for now, some on the way. That's just a little bit, some on the way. Not looking forward to it, but gotta do what you have to do. But
what dad is looking forward to it?
I was looking forward to the first one, but after that, it's like I started like no. But the second one ended up being a boy, so I was really looking forward to that. But now it's like
you're rooting for girls.
No, all boys. So the message today that we actually want to talk about came to me last night, and I decided I want to share it with you guys. But it's called "When God Gives You the Ultimate Pat Down." So what is a pat down? And I want you to, give us an example of what is a pat down. What does it mean to you?
I think a pat down example is like when you go to school, you gotta go through the little, what you call them things again?
Metal detectors?
That's what they call them, monitors. Oh no. You gotta go through, school through the little white things. I still don't know what they call.
Metal detectors.
Metal detectors. The courthouse where you gotta go through. They check everything, your purse.
Wait. Some schools don't have metal. I think it was just because we was living in such a dangerous place.
All schools need to have those.
We was living in such a dangerous place that when you go to school, it's like you're going through the airport every morning. Like they
check your
book
bags, check your clothes.
They do like a pat down. Like they search your body, they search your bags, they search everything that you can bring into the school every day.
And
so they give you this.
Look like a weapon. It's getting taken.
Yeah, you can't even bring a comb. And
I think it's a hair pick.
Sometimes you can't bring certain pens. I think it was like a fountain pen or something. It's called. You couldn't bring that into the school. Different things like that. But yeah, okay, you can go ahead.
We came up with airport. I never been to airport, but he has.
Yeah, when you're going through TSA, it's just crazy. But they give you this search. It's like a pat down. It's like a heavy search. They pat you down, or they use a metal detector, things like that. So I just want to say,
we're kind of thinking here.
I just want to give a good example. So, our videos is not pre-planned. It's just kind of go with the flow type of thing. So, a pat down. When God first gave me a pat down, I ain't gonna say the first time, but the time I actually realized it was moving to Dallas for the first time, and I knew that He's taking us to another place and giving us a new level of faith in Him and things like that. And I realized that it was a lot of things that couldn't come with us. And He would start stripping things away from us, Some of the things that He stripped away from me personally was like, we didn't get that blessing until we actually start removing those things, And so He started patting me down. It was like, well, that can't come with you. That can't come with you. That can't come with you. Take that off. Put that back. And I had to stop pornography, lusting, sex greed. It was a lot of things. Secular music. talking to certain people. We had to go into isolated season. And God pat you down and say, well, these people ain't coming to your next right now, so I'm isolating you. We fight it. Sometimes, like, you don't want to actually...
Take it off.
Yeah, you don't want to take it off. Like, you want to keep that hidden in your pocket, but that's why I said God gives you the ultimate. He sees what you're trying to hide. Mm-hmm. Like, well, I just delete them for now, but I'll keep their number stashed somewhere in my phone, and I'll come back to it, like, in a month or so. No. God's like, no, delete all that. You know, if you don't, you're not boarding this flight, or you're not coming to where I'm sending you. So he just continues to pat you down. And what are some things you had to get rid of?
Oh man, mine's is always the same thing.
Sometimes we don't listen either. Like, you keep telling you repeatedly.
When we first got here, I had to get rid of those desires that I had in my heart that was not from God. It was from the things I wanted. Mm-hmm. I call them worldly desires because that's what they was. There was nothing that was through God. So when we was in the when we was in a hotel, he had to really work on me about those desires. He didn't give me what I wanted. He had to let it go, take it out. You can't go anywhere with this because all it's going to do is destroy you. Mm-hmm. And I had all these desires of a nice house, a nice apartment. I wanted all these nice things, but I wasn't prepared to have those nice things yet. Yeah. I just wanted those things to show it off to other people, but he stripped me, like, for real. Most
definitely. Like she said, her desires, and God kind of stripped her from those desires. You know, when God is stripping you from something, it's actually for your good. Mm-hmm. We don't see what God sees, but when he takes something away from you, most of the time it's to add more to you. Yeah. She had strong desires in the beginning of, like, fancy living, fancy house, fancy things, and it wasn't good for her because it just fed her flesh instead of feeding her spirit. And so God was like, I'm gonna pat you down again because you didn't listen to me the first time, so I'm gonna take it all away. And he kept certain things that he still to this day that he pats us down, and we have to go back and redo over and over or something like
he will send you to the back of that line.
So yeah, that brings me to the next conclusion. Like, you know, if you ever been through like an airport or something like that, and you get up there and they told you the whole way there, take off your necklace, take off your jewelry, take off your whatever, open your electronics out the bags, things like that, and you get to the front of the line, and all that stuff is still on.
You're going back.
And they get back to the back of the line, redo that again. And, you know, we just came out of a season kind of like that where we actually moved into an apartment. And we thought, like, okay, this is going to be our promised land right here. This is our place of destination. This is where we're going to reside in for a long time. Mm-hmm. But see, our Airbnb season was so bad and we didn't listen. He was telling us to take off these certain things and we didn't take it off. That was holding us down, and we didn't take it off. So we got to the front of the line, we got to the apartment, and God said, well, now you're going back. So we're no longer in that apartment anymore. We're no longer in that apartment anymore. So listen the first time, be obedient. Yes. When God strips things from you, he pat searching you, and he's like taking all these things that can't benefit you. He does it for a purpose, you know. He's not just doing it because he's mean and don't want you to have these things or don't want you to act this way, or he does it for a reason. So we end up losing our apartment after 2 months of being there. Yeah. It's terrible. And we had to go back into an Airbnb again. But we understood because that first Airbnb season was nice. The first Airbnb season was disobedient, rebellion. We didn't want to strip off anything else. We said, we done lost enough, you know. We don't want to give them any more. But God was like, well, you're going back. And he sent us right back to redo it better the second time. And this time, we stripped off everything. Like, we're like, nope. Don't start over again if you don't. Yeah. You ain't going to get through until you actually take it off. From your heart, too. Don't fake it. God sees when you fake it. We tried to fake it before. We tried. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. God sees right through the phoniness. All of it. Yeah, we've been there. We tried that. Take our word for it. When God tells you to remove something or you have to fix something, you have to do it.
But it's better for your good, though. It's not to harm you or hurt you. You might think it might. You might not understand why, but you will as time go along.
Yeah. I didn't understand at that time. I'll give a little bit of an example with you for a quick moment. Like, we was going through a really bad marriage crisis, but God was telling us that it's certain things that we had to stop doing. Me personally, I had to stop pastoring to her during the argument. He was like, "You're her husband, not her pastor, so don't pastor to her during every argument. Let me speak to her and let me heal her from whatever she's going through. Leave it alone instead of pushing into the argument. I need you to stop. Don't push into it. Just give it all to me." And I said, no, I'm going to take it in my own hands and I want her to listen to me. So once again, we failed that season and we end up having to come back because I didn't want to take off my self-control and give it to God. And I just kept doing all the things on my own. So when God says be obedient to his will or to his way, he's serious. He's definitely serious. Yeah, so just give us a couple of examples of what God had stripped from you, like any secular music or anything that you once loved to do
that you can't do anymore.
Because you know that is not for your good if you continue to do it. Just give us a couple of examples in the comments. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and